morning. Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of AKP Sports Talk. That's Ari. I'm Korea. It's Wednesday. I'm a little dejected just because another day and another day of my soccer play is just coming so close, but not hitting because of one man, Mr. Kylian Mbappe. Mr. Jared Allen, I like to call that man because the lights were bright for him. The lights were too bright for me. Oh, I'm going to go to Real Madrid. Pissed me off. But you know what? I had a 1-2 day anyway. First getting into the Red Sox, that was a tough one. I mean, it was a run game heading into the bottom of the eighth, and then the Braves had this ground out RBI, so just put another one in.
I think it was 2-2, wasn't it? I think it was 2-2 going. They scored
Yeah,
two
but
runs in the eighth.
I'm talking about after when it was 3-2, and I was hoping that they would not go. I was hoping they would throw home instead of going to first, but that was the easier out. But that was the hope. But obviously, they lost by two, so I'm not really beating myself up too much for it. It was pretty much a close game throughout. I was hoping that this game was going to be pretty much close throughout the whole game. Maybe I just should have targeted the Red Sox, maybe first five plus half a run, because that was obviously a sweat-free winner. But I'm not beating myself too much over it. The Red Sox, they were pretty much competitive. I knew Cutter Crawford was going to make this game a little bit interesting for the Braves because of the fact that the Braves do struggle against right-handed pitching. So, I was a little more backing, the Red Sox to kind of keep this game close, and they did. But then obviously the Braves, got away with it, with two runs in the bottom of the eighth, kind of unfortunately, just ruining the Red Sox to cover the plus 1.5 spread, and then the Red Sox in the top of the ninth didn't do anything, so it was pretty much over then. So I'm not really beating myself too much. Just Red Sox bats couldn't really do anything against Ronaldo Lopez, and then I thought they would do at least something, but they didn't do anything. So that was a tough one there. The Yankees' first five money line, that was sweat free. That was very sweat free. That was nice to see. Unfortunately, Ari, the first five under 4.5, that was unfortunately not sweat free. In fact, that was a loser, unfortunately. But the Yankees' first five money line, that was like I said, pretty sweat free. Giancarlo Stanton homered. You could have counted like 5-6 people who got a run in for the Yankees first five. Giancarlo Stanton with that laser, Verdugo as well. So it was just there were a lot of runs coming early for the Yankees. So that was nice to see. Just taking them to win the first five money line, that was minus 130. Then I don't even want to get into the soccer one because oh my God, Kylian. It was literally a repeat. I said to myself, this man is not going to do me dirty twice, is he? He did me dirty twice. That man can go to Real Madrid and lose for whatever I care about. He's not that guy. He's not that guy anymore. He got exposed. He got exposed. He got exposed as a fraud. He's still good, but he needs other people to win now. He's a Kevin Durant. People were thinking he's a LeBron. No, he's more of a Kevin Durant. But that's another conversation for another time. 1-2 day. Unfortunate with the Red Sox. Unfortunately, just missing that cover at plus 1.5 just because of the bottom of the eighth for the Braves. And then the PSG collapse, the PSG downfall that we will be studying for many, many centuries. The PSG ultimate failure. They had this man for almost 5 years and couldn't do a single. Ari, how did you do yesterday?
Yeah, 0-2. Like you said, the first time under was just a bad bet. I mean, for under had success, like I said, against the Yankees prior to yesterday, but that kind of flipped upside down, and the Yankees crushed them in the first. I think it was like 6-1. I want to say through 5. So that sort of over. And then the Royals was about as heartbreaking as it gets. Not only were they at 5-3 in the ninth, but there's 2 outs, nobody on as well. And then it's a single walk. And then, I'm blanking on who. Wait, no, let me look this up. It was 2 outs, nobody on, and then obviously a walk when you're up 2 runs is not good in the ninth. I literally just had, Willie Adames. Yeah, that's who. Willie Adames hits the 3-run home run with two on, 2 outs in the ninth. So I was hoping to at least go 1-1 with the Royals up 5-3, 2 outs, nobody on in the ninth, and that does not happen. So another tough day for me as well. up 2 runs, nobody on, 2 outs. You can't make it up.
Like, we always like to say it was one of those days of what could have gone wrong went wrong. I mean, Kylian Mbappe and the crossbar have a love-hate relationship. The Royals decided to only play baseball for about 8 innings and decided, you know what, we don't need the ninth inning. So it was just a tough day for both of us, obviously. But we will bounce back. We are going to bounce back, obviously, and hopefully that starts today. I got 2 picks today. We're just keeping it simple, but I do got a little bit of a parlay. I wanted to switch it up for a little bit. I don't usually give out parlays, but I didn't really like one single thing. I like a combination of things. I don't really know how to really plan it out, but I'll get into it first. We're gonna go to, of course, to the diamond here, and we're gonna go to game 2. I don't know why they're playing a doubleheader on a random Wednesday. I think this is the most strangest thing, but whatever's going on in Oakland, we're taking the Rangers A's game 2 here. We're taking that over 8.5. It's about minus 105 on some books. I think I saw it maybe close to minus 100, or maybe close to even money on DraftKings. We're just fading the 2 pitchers right now. Obviously, we don't know the lineups because this is a doubleheader and this is game 2. But we are fading both pitchers. On the mound for the A's is Oswaldo Bido. And if you know him, you know that guy stinks. He is a turkey tosser. He is not that good. And I'm expecting this Rangers lineup to at least finish off this series strong. And, obviously, even though it's a doubleheader, which even I was checking like the travel plans for both teams, and I don't know why they're playing a doubleheader day, but whatever the situation is, I do like the Rangers and A's just to go over 8.5. And then you look at the Rangers side, it's Shaq Leiter, and even though he did struggle in his first start, obviously it was against a formidable lineup. This is the A's, and the A's, obviously we don't talk about how much of a great lineup they have, but they have a sufficable lineup, and they are facing a rookie pitcher. So I do like this game to go over 8.5. Just backing both offenses against 2 struggling pitchers at the moment in game 2. Make sure you guys check it's game 2, not game 1. Obviously, there's a different play for game 1 I do like as well. But game 2 we're focusing on here, Rangers A's over 8.5. You can get that around minus 105 to about even money on DraftKings. And then we're going to do a little bit of a different thing here, a parlay, 3 legs here. I'm going to explain each of the legs here. First, we're going to go up to Minnesota. As you can see the shirt right here. We're taking the Mariners. We're backing them plus 1.5. Why? Because it's George Kirby Day. I love backing George Kirby on George Kirby days. He has settled in right now, obviously. We look at how the Mariners have played. Obviously that game yesterday, very offensive. You can kind of say a little bit controversial with the dead ball, but it didn't really matter. The Mariners put up some insurance runs in the top of the 9th. On top of that, they had that big lead after that Cal Raleigh pinch hit home run, grand slam, yesterday. But I'm just backing this team in this spot. We talk about how the Mariners. I don't think anyone's really talking about how the Mariners have won. What is it? 6 straight 7 series. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 6 straight series. They're going for their 7th today in Minnesota, and obviously they are facing Chris Paddock on the mound, who does have good splits against this Mariner team. But I'm also just backing the fact that the Mariners obviously are going to keep this game close with George Kirby on the mound. If you do like another play, I do like this under today. I do like both teams to maybe struggle offensively. The Twins, kind of with that chase rate against a good location pitcher in George Kirby, who doesn't give up walks, and then Chris Paddock and his splits against the Mariners lineup that obviously showed out yesterday. But we hope, obviously, as Mariner fans, for that lineup to be a little more consistent. But we know it has had its inconsistencies throughout the MLB season. So we're just backing the Mariners at plus 1.5 for the first leg here, just to keep this game close, and backing George Kirby here on the mound in this final game before they go back home. And then we're going to take the D-backs.
It's a 4-game series. They play one more tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, before they go play them more tomorrow before they go back home. Sorry, I keep forgetting that. But and then we're going to go to the Great American Ballpark, and Great American Ballpark. We love taking overs in Great American Ballpark. We're taking an alternate over here. We're taking that over 7 for the parlay here for the Diamondbacks and Reds. Just kind of fading both pitchers. We look on the mound here. You look at the pitchers and you kind of see, they don't really scream over, but it's more of the weather. When it's going to be blowing out a Great American Ballpark, so that kind of incentivizes that over. A little bit of rain in the forecast, so baseball is going to be a little slick and whatnot. But, in terms of, this over yesterday, it was so close for the full game. I had it at over 9 yesterday, and it finished 6-2. And then we looked on the mound today. It's Jordan Montgomery going on for the Diamondbacks. And, he has struggled to kind of get to his Rangers form that he did last year, where he was pretty much shut out for most of the time. He has struggled, and I think on this spot, at Great American Ballpark on the road, against the Cincinnati Reds against the Cincinnati Reds lineup that we know can hit the ball pretty well. I do love this over full game, but I'm taking this adjusted over just on the fact that, we're kind of fading both pitchers here. And then, we look at, the Diamondback splits against Graham Ashcraft for the Cincinnati Reds, and they're looking pretty good as well. And they know how to hit lefties as well. We always talk about how the Diamondbacks are better against lefties than righties. So we're just taking this full game at over 7 here for the adjusted leg 2 part of an alternate over here for the parlay. And then the final leg here, I know they've burned us so many times recently, but this is the thing with baseball. If a team burns you the day before and it was a good play, they're gonna hit it the next day, and that's why we're taking the Orioles first 5 money line today. That's our final leg here. So that 3-leg parlay combined comes out to about plus 200-ish. Somewhere from 190 to 200. I'm not too sure, depending on what your book is. But Orioles first 5 money line is going to be the last leg here. We are just backing the Orioles because they love hitting lefties. Even though it's Mitchell Parker, who has had good success on the year, the Orioles, they do love hitting lefties 1 and 2. Even though he's a great rookie, I still think he's definitely due for some regression against a really good Orioles lineup. The Orioles, we talk about them hitting fourth, and I think they're fourth in batting and OPS and slugging against the lefties. They got pretty much shut out by Trevor Williams yesterday with Corbin Burns on the mound. And even though Corbin Burns, obviously, we talk about him being a great pitcher, Trevor Williams on the mound, and the righty, that's kind of the Orioles' kryptonite right-handed pitchers for this Orioles team. And now they face a lefty today in the final game of the series. And the Orioles have not lost back-to-back games at all since, I think April 13th or something. And obviously, this is I don't know if I believe this is the final game of the series. I'm not too sure, but I think it is. I'm just hoping for the Orioles to get out to a lead through the first 5. I'm not really taking the full game, even though the Washington Nationals lineup bullpen, has been a little shaky sometimes. I'm just backing the fact that the Orioles are going to get to Mitchell Parker here, and I expect them to get a lead here. And on the other side for the Orioles, they do have Kyle Bradish, and you take it what you can, but the last time Kyle Bradish did face this Nationals lineup, which I believe was last year, he went 8 innings and shut out baseball. So, he definitely has some, but obviously not a lot of experience because this is a whole new Washington Nationals baseball lineup. But, the lineup for the Nationals has been, hit or miss sometimes. Sometimes they'll have games like yesterday. Well, their offense, will do just enough to kind of, go base to base and, get the runs through. But sometimes they'll struggle to get on base, and I think that is a great opportunity today with Kyle Bradish on the mound. So I'm just going to take him through the first 5. I don't want to worry about the full game. Don't have to sweat the full game. Just taking them through the 5 innings to have somewhat of a lead. And with the first 5 money line, there is that push potential. So if they are tied, that we do get our it is technically a win, but it's not a win for the parlay. Obviously it would just be a push in the parlay, but we are hoping that they do have a lead after 5, or if the worst possible, a tie. We just do not want the Nationals to be up in any way, shape, or form after 5 innings like they were yesterday. So those are my 2 best bets with the Rangers and A's game 2 first game 2 in the doubleheader today over 8.5, and then that 3-leg parlay with the Mariners plus 1.5, the D-backs and Reds to go over 7 at Great American Ballpark, and then the Orioles to cover the first 5 money line. All 3 combined come out to about plus 200, depending on where you get your book at, somewhere about 190 to 200 in terms of the juice there. Ari, I tried to switch it up today, try to get a winner here. What are you cooked up today?
Yeah, it's funny how you talk about going back to teams that burn you, because I'm going back to the 2 teams that burned me the past 2 days, the Royals yesterday and the Mariners on Monday. Start off with the Royals. Already talked about how they lost yesterday's game, obviously. They have Brady Singer on the mound today. 6 of his 7 starts this season, he's allowed 2 runs or less. Going up against Joe Ross, he's kind of a weird season because he has like a 4.6 something ERA, but he's had like a couple of like really, really good starts and a couple of kind of blow up starts this season. So it's kind of tough to know what you're going to get from, a pitcher like him. But I'm just kind of banking on the Royals, at home for their lineup to, do enough. I mean, I don't think they have to do that much with Singer, who should deal against the Brewers, I think, at home. This is mostly backing Singer, but I think the Royals offense will be able to do enough as well to back him up and bounce back from the, obviously the tough win or tough loss last night against the Brewers. And then going back to the Mariners, obviously as a day early after they won yesterday, not going back to them, like you said, with George Kirby on the mound, facing Paddock, who's been fairly good this season. So another kind of game where I'm not expecting the Mariners to allow them to have, I don't see them scoring 10 runs again. I'll say that much. But I don't think they're gonna have to do that much. I consider going back to the first three under half a run bet for the Twins back in Kirby, but just decided to back the Mariners full game with Kirby, and then hopefully they can build off the offensive success that they had last night, not to the same degree, but enough for Kirby and them to get the win.
Ari, like you said, I'm never gonna talk you out of Mariners money line. That is something we know I'm never gonna do. The Royals, obviously, I actually was looking at the Royals too. Obviously, you mentioned Brady Singer at home. He is a lot better at home versus on the road in terms of his road home split. So I do like what you're thinking is there. Obviously, you mentioned yesterday just getting absolutely burned by the Royals, but that wasn't even your fault. That was the bullpen. So, you can't really do anything about it. But going back to them today, I do like that. You mentioned Joe Ross and his inconsistencies for the Brewers as a starter. You mentioned he had one game where I think he went 5 or 6 innings where he had 1-run game, and then a couple games ago he had like six innings, 6 runs. So you never know which one you're gonna get. But I do like the Royals lineup today, backing them, just backing the Royals at home in this spot. You're getting them for a good price with Brady Singer on the mound at home. So I like that price for you at -120. And then the Mariners, obviously, never going to talk you out of that one, am I? Those are always 2 plays. And then going back to mine with the Rangers and A's, second game, make sure it's game 2, not game 1. Rangers A's over 8.5 there for the full game total. And then my 3-leg parlay, decided to switch it up today with the Mariners plus 1.5. Kind of similar on backing Ari's point there, which is backing George Kirby. Diamondbacks, Reds, loving that over at Great American. And then the Orioles first 5, going back to a play that burned me yesterday. Taking it today, just bounce back. Those are our plays today. Obviously, you can find these plays and our full video on our Twitter below, AKP Sports Talk. That is our Twitter down below. And you can obviously find our full video and card momentarily. That's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That's Ari. I'm Korea. We will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys.